Dr. Hill Harper. He was the host of the Economic Empowerment Day taking place at the Convention Center as part of the Tulsa Centennial Race Massacre Commission. And Hill, one of the things that I was saying was that I listed all the sponsors. And the first thing I said when I went over there was, how do they stack up on their black spend? Which is what we have to be saying.
We have to be
sponsoring a conference is one thing, but are you spending with black-owned companies?
Absolutely.
In your daily business? Because probably what they gave for the sport of conference pales in comparison to what they actually are spending every day in their companies.
Without question. And where are we talking about Tier 1 capital, where we're talking about access capital, where we're talking about supplier diversity, any of that spend is part of recirculating dollars. We have to bring dollars back into our community and then recirculate them. And it's not, and you're right, if it's not happening, particularly in the issue that I heard you talk about when Reverend Jackson was here about reparations for survivors, HR 40, these types of things. Yeah, that's going to pale in comparison to what companies are spending the billions and billions and billions on actual incoming supplier diversity initiatives. And all these companies, yes.
And in fact, John Rogers has been saying, John Rogers said, don't even use supplier diversity. He said, don't even use that phrase at all.
Because you think it's a diversion.
Absolutely. John, I interviewed him earlier. In fact, I'm going to be talking with him. We're going to show the interview a little bit later. He said, no, we must use what is your black-owned spend. He said we cannot allow them to finagle their way out of that because, to Teresa's point, when they bring in LGBTQ women, white women, bring in everybody, then all of a sudden you see this large number, but then you go, no, I need the number broken down.
Right.
And so, same thing. So now the hot craze today is DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion. Because, see, all these DEI jobs, they have no P&L responsibility.
Yeah.
They have no staff. They got no budgets.
Yes. But ultimately, Roland, for me, and I'll be honest, because people ask me about whether it's politics or whether it's spend, I think we have to just look in the mirror ourselves. We already have $1.2 trillion of buying power in our community.
Right.
And we'd be the 15th largest GDP in the world if we were a country, yet we don't spend that intentionally. A dollar leaves a black community within 6 to 7 hours. And if that's the case, we cannot build wealth unless we're recirculating the dollar. That, to me, is even more important than asking PepsiCo who their supplier is. That's for real.
No.
We got to fix our own house.
No. But here's the deal, though. They can happen simultaneously. Here's what I mean that.
Right.
So when Byron Allen filed his $10 billion lawsuit against McDonald's, McDonald's is spending 2% of their media money with black-owned media. Yet 40% of their revenue is coming from black customers.
Absolutely.
So we're actually spending our money. What I'm arguing, that's a return on investment.
Exactly.
That is, without us, y'all in trouble. General Motors, 11.4% of all GM cars bought by black people. They were spending 1% of their money with black media.
Yes.
Now we got to start asking the brother who was a general counsel. He since left at Coca-Cola. He challenged all the law firms saying, I'm going to start taking business away from you because y'all ain't serious about diversity. What I'm saying is this is where we say, no, there's about to be a return on investment. No, brother, we live, brother. There's got to be a return on investment when we are making these demands because the companies are profiting from our spend.
Without question. Roland, let's think about tech. We make these tech platforms,
right.
billion-dollar companies. We just made Clubhouse a $4 billion market cap in beta because black folks got on that app. We made Twitter. You're right. Our culture has been monetized. We monetize companies with our dollars. The question is, how do we keep the money in our community?
How do we get to monetize blackness?
We have to create our own companies, our own tech, and support, just like what you've done with this platform. This is why folks have to understand how powerful what you're doing with this platform. This is called self-sovereignty. This is called using technology, state-of-the-art technology, to own your platform. And if we focus on that, using decentralized decentralized technology, using the state-of-the-art stuff, doing this. This is you. To me, you are the light of what we need to do. You're doing it in media. We need to do the same thing on tech platforms. We need to do the same thing in fintech. We need to do the same thing in all of these areas.
Well, I'll give a perfect example. You talked about Clubhouse. So Isaac Hayes III has created his app fan base.
Yes.
Which allows for you to actually get paid for your content.
Yes.
So we need this crowd fund. I invested $50,000 in this crowd fund. And when I was saying to people, to your point, we made Clubhouse hot. We can just as easy make fan base hot.
Yes.
We can $4 billion valuation. This black-owned app can be a $4 billion valuation. He has chat rooms like Clubhouse. He has photos like Instagram. I can do videos like Instagram.
And I think you can do private stuff
but
like
to your point,
OnlyFans.
It has to be intentional.
It does, and that's why I launched the blackwallstreet.com and the app, and we launched it last night on another platform that brothers run called Earn Your Leisure, the #1 fintech podcast out there right now. Brothers doing it, and they're doing it very well. Wall Street Trapper was there, another brother who's talking about finance. The blackwallstreet.com is a digital app that we're launching to let people invest in Bitcoin and not have to go through the Coinbases, the Cash Apps, the Venmos.
So explain that. So I've had some people. We were discussing this at dinner last night. I've had some people say, Roland, you need to start accepting cryptocurrency to join your fan club.
Yes,
okay,
you should.
So, all right. So for people who have no idea what the hell that is, they hear it and they're like, I don't know what this all is. Explain what your app does to help with that. So let's say if I wanted to say we're going to start accepting crypto, if you want to join our Bring the Funk fan club,
yes.
How does your app help facilitate that?
Okay, well, first of all, we have to. Crypto's a big world and a big universe.
Got it.
There's 9,200 different cryptos out there. 99% of them are trash. Let's be clear. They're designed to try to separate you from your money. Okay, so that's why it has to start with education first.
Right.
Okay, and so on our platform we have financial literacy, financial education about crypto, etc. But beyond that, what digital wallets simply do, we're moving into an age of digital currency and cryptocurrency, where just like the watch on people's hands are accessories for the most part because they do exactly what you're doing. You look at your phone for your time, right? The same thing's going to happen with your wallet or your purse. You're not going to use what's inside of it, credit cards or cash, to transact. You're going to use a digital wallet in your phone. You're already doing it. Apple Wallet, PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, etc. Here's the problem. We don't own any of those.
Right.
And I just said, right on this street 100 years ago, a dollar circulated 60 to 100 times, which was a year, 2 years or more within the ecosystem. Right now in America, a dollar leaves the black community within 6 to 7 hours. If we don't start owning our own digital wallets, it'll be leaving within 6 to 7 seconds. That's why I created a digital wallet, an app. Now, why are you able to buy only Bitcoin on that app? You can only buy Bitcoin on others like
because it said all the rest of them are trash. You already said.
Yeah, exactly. You catch on quick, right? No,
I pay attention.
So here's the deal. Every Bitcoin has 100 million Satoshis in it. I have a saying, and other people say Satoshi is black. What do I mean by that? We finally have a fair, decentralized type of currency that if we index in early right now, the entire world will have to come through us for access to that asset. 95% of black Americans keep their portfolio in cash. They keep it in cash. Why is that a problem, Roland? It keeps us poor. Why? Because cash is a descending value asset. They printed 22% of the circulating supply of money last year. If we're in cash, every time your head hits the pillow, you wake up poor the next morning. The wealthiest 1% keep 95% of their assets in things other than cash, ascending value asset classes, real estate, fine art, blue chip stocks. I don't tell people buy Bitcoin. I say sell your money, sell your cash, get into an ascending value asset. If we could convert, my goal is to have every black American have at least 1 million Satoshis. In today's money, that'd be like $380. If we actually did that, so if you have 2 parents in the household, 3 kids, that's 5 million Satoshis in that household. If we actually did that, there's only 2% adoption in the world. The rest of the world would have to come through us for access to this asset class. We would control the asset class. We've never controlled an asset class. And therefore, the price rises, and we actually are having and holding leverage. It's about creating leverage. And that's why us adopting Bitcoin and buying it through our platform creates power and leverage.
All right. Where can people get the information?
They go to theblackwallstreet.com, put your email address, and we will send you that. Or just go to Google Play or your app store and download actually the app, The Black Wall Street. And here's the deal they got to understand. We're building this so it's unbreakable. They're not going to be able to come and tear it down like they did here, right? And therefore, folks are going to have to go through a real stringent process when they load it. They're going to KYC, which means know your customer. People are like, Hill, I just want to come on and start just buying. No. You got to take your time, connect your bank account. It's a process, but it's a process worth doing. And I believe I'm going to make a big prediction right here, Roland. This is the first time I'm saying it, and since we're live, I want to say it. I believe that our app and our platform will create more black wealth than any single business or app in history. Black wealth, black American wealth.
All right. That's a prediction.
That's it.
Hill Harper, I really appreciate it, bro. Thanks a lot.
Appreciate you, man. Continue doing what you're doing. You are our hero in the media space, and we have to support you and start accepting Bitcoin. 5 years from now, you come up to me, Hill, that interview, I don't know how people saw it, but at least that was the most valuable interview I ever had because I'm sitting on a bunch of Satoshis, and they're going to be worth a lot.
All right.
All right?
Hill Harper, I appreciate it, brother. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Folks, back to our Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment.
It's time to be smart. When we control our institutions, we win. This is the most important news show on television of any racial background. Y'all put $2, $3, $4, $5, $10, $15, $20, $30 on this and keep this going. What you've done, Roland, since this crisis came out in full bloom. Anybody watching this, tell your friends. Go back and look at the last 2 weeks, especially of Roland Martin Unfiltered. I mean, hell, go back and look at the last 2 days. You've had sitting United States senators today, Klobuchar and Harris. Whatever you have that you can bring to Roland Martin Unfiltered to support it, please do, because this information may literally save your life.
Watch Roland Martin Unfiltered daily at 6 p.m. Eastern on YouTube, Facebook, or Periscope, or go to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered Daily Digital Show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Our goal is to get 20,000 of our fans contributing $50 each for the whole year. You can make this possible. RolandMartinUnfiltered.com.